escaping the shadows. I know it's hard to put one foot in front of the other.
Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is CeeChronicles, and on this platform I post fragrance related content. Now if you like that style of content, please remember to like, comment, hit the share button, as well as subscribe. I would appreciate you doing those 3 things or 4 things, guys. It's absolutely free, but helps with the growth of this channel and ensuring that YouTube recommends this video to many people. Now, to those who are returning, my OGs, thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate you as always. Today I have 3 fragrances drawing inspiration of the Amouage guidance. I'm going to give you a summary of what each is doing, which one is closest to the Amouage guidance, so as to help you with your purchases. Now, in case you have not interacted with that Amouage guidance DNA, it is a nutty, sweet, spicy, woody scent, okay, with some vanilla there. It also incorporates rose and jasmine, so it's going to be floral as well, but it has a heightened hazelnut feel there, okay, so you have to like nutty fragrances. And while we're at it, let me say the guidance DNA, though very popular, guys, is not an easy DNA to carry. You either like it or you don't, because it's so heightened in that intense nuttiness, right? Where the nut is working together with the sandalwood and woods there, and everything composed and presenting as very dense or as very intense, if you will. So it's a DNA that if you haven't tried it, maybe you ought to try the Dupes, right? Unless you can afford, of course, to splurge on that money. Maybe you ought to try the Dupes, or you ought to try a Decadent, and then see if you absolutely love that DNA, because it is quite pushy there. Now, the 3 fragrances that I have here that are drawing inspiration of that Amouage guidance are Paris Corner's Bayan Asrar, which I believe was the first dupe. If I'm mistaken, then my apologies, but I believe Bayan Asrar was the first dupe, and then Khadlaj gave us Musk Pour Ember, and then recently Maison Alhambra then gave us Decadent Dream. Okay, so I'm gonna spray the first one, Bayan Asrar, simply because it's been in my collection for the longest, and then tell you what it's doing and to what extent, you know, it's close to the original, and whether or not this would be the best one to purchase. Now, because this one has been in my collection for a while, I'm going to talk about what it was doing initially. This was a presentation of that unmistakable Amouage guidance DNA, but guarded. It was heightened in a fresh aquatic, which was working, you know, in tandem with that rose, kind of diluting that nuttiness, and it was coming across as an airy presentation of that fragrance. This one has improved because, of course, it has stayed in my collection for quite a while. Now, why am I telling you the before and after is, if you purchase it, it's most likely going to interpret as a shyer take of that Amouage guidance. It's going to interpret as perhaps a careful take on that. But because I've had this one in my collection for a while, it does intensify, but it doesn't get so intense to interpreting that guidance, you know, like 101. It's really pushy and stuff, but yes, you're going to get wafts of that. You're going to get a good serving of that nuttiness. You're going to get a sandalwood that's more milky, you know, as the fragrance, you know, matures there or macerates and stays in your collection for a long time. The hazelnut is going to present in its nuttiness, but it's going to be a nutty nuance of, instead of just being tied and being that nut, if you know what I mean. It is a fragrance that I'm going to say is also a little bit, just a little bit animalic there with the hazelnut there, but not as intense as what I get in this. All right, so if you're looking at something that's going to be a little bit safe, I'm going to say Bayan. The second one is going to be this, and why I have this one still full is Khadlaj did give me a lot of miniature samples. That's one of this DNA. 2, this is intense. Okay, this is intense. This Musk Pour Ember is concentrated. This is the one I'm going to say is unapologetic 101 at par with that Amouage guidance, to an extent that if you're not against dupes, just buy this. This is going to be value for money. It's nutty, it's embery, it's woody, right? It has the spiciness there, and it's sweet, but also sour at the same time, because there is something in here that bounces off as a tad bit green, okay, as though it's got like something that is woody but a little bit green there. It also has an overly balsamic feel. The pear in here, I think, also adds to that sourness, but it's not like a spoiled pear type of a feel. It's just how the pear mixes with everything else, coming across as a little bit sour. You know, that is what I get from this. It does have an intense sandalwood, yes. That sandalwood is going to give wafts of creaminess, yes. The hazelnut is going to be prominent, yes. And it's going to overly be nutty. But at the same time, you know, there is something in here that's a little bit of a green tease. To my nose, this is the one clone, I'm going to say, that's 101. You either love it or you don't. For some, you might find it doing a little bit too much. It doesn't get too nauseating for me, but it can be too pushy, this particular one, right? So as I said, I'm going to tell you in the end which one I prefer. The last one is going to be Decadent Dream from the house of Maison Alhambra, simply because it's the one I added last. I unboxed this one with you guys last week in a haul, and I bought this one mistakenly thinking it was going to be the Love Delight dupe, because Maison Alhambra released two, and the Love Delight dupe is called Decadent Wonder. That one is very hard to find, simply because it is one of those DNAs that are going for the new DNAs on the market, and that DNA hasn't been washed up, if you know what I mean. So this was so not what I wanted. I was absolutely disappointed to add another guidance dupe, if you know what I mean. I was not so happy to get this, and I actually did not blame anyone else but myself. I mean, I should have read this. It actually is saying Decadent Dream, not Decadent Wonder. So in case you're wondering, guys, this is just another Amouage guidance dupe. In terms of what it's doing, it is vibing almost similar to Bayan Asrar, especially how Bayan Asrar vibed when I got it initially. It's soft. So if we are to go by what Bayan Asrar has done, maybe this is going to get better with time, you know, because at the moment what I'm getting is a soft osmanthus feel of a fragrance. If you really do pay attention to it, or you smell it closely, there's going to be wafts of that, of an apricot feel there. And then the pear is very aquatic in here, adding a freshness to the DNA in itself. So what it then does is it makes that nuttiness, that hazelnut, very faint. It doesn't highlight it that much, but yes, you are going to feel that it does have a nutty nuance to it. Okay, nutty nuance to it, but not too much. Some of you guys have said you get a mothball accord in here. What I do get is that ambergris interpreting as a little bit salty. You know, it's a weird thing, like a salty accord is what I get in here. I think it is that synthetic molecule that they've used in here, that ambergris, that interprets as salty, and for some can come across as mothbally or whatever it is. But this, I'm going to say for now, is my least favorite. It does vibe the way Bayan Asrar was vibing initially, so it might change. I'm not too impressed with it for now, and I am going to say this is the one I recommend the least. If you're looking for the Amouage guidance DNA, if you're willing to wait it out, then get yourself Bayan Asrar. It's going to give you a careful presentation of that, not pushing it. So this would be one that I would recommend. Now, if you're looking for an unapologetic clone to that, then just get yourself Khadlaj Mask Pour Ember. You can also get decants of these fragrances, guys, of high scent, in case you want to tiptoe and see which one you're going to prefer. I think they do have all three in stock, the Decadent Dream, as well as the Bayan Asrar from Paris Cora and a Mask Pour Ember. So maybe before you go full size, you want to tiptoe, you can get yourself decants of high scent. I always drop their link for anybody who may need that link. So that's what I can say about the three fragrances, guys. This one's gonna be more value for money because a little goes a long way. This one's gonna leave a trail. This one is gonna have you in that scent bubble where you enjoy it the whole day, because it is quite intense in presenting everything, and this one is closer to the real thing. This, for now, I just get 2-3 hours pushing it. Very light, but maybe may improve, because remember, it's still new. This one needed a little bit of patience. Now it's better, but still not nailing it. Both these two can be worn in summer. These two you can spray, so many sprays. they still don't get to what I get in here. They just have that safe thing about them. But remember, you have to love nutty toned fragrances. So yes, guys, I do hope I did help you. The DNA in itself, I feel, can be worn by men, but is a DNA marketed for women by the original creator, which is that guidance. That guidance comes in the Amouage women's bottles. So if that matters, then maybe if you're a man, you ought to test before you purchase. CeeChronicles is my name. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let's meet in the comment section where we discuss more about fragrances. Remember to turn on post notifications, guys. That way you get to be notified anytime I upload a video. Like and share this one. And remember, guys, that smelling good is a form of good manners. Cheers.